Hello, freaks, and welcome back to another Rag Reynolds tier list. Today we are doing a tier list of the game Rock, Paper, Scissors. Just in case you don't know what Rock, Paper, Scissors is, I'm going to explain that now for you. So basically, Rock, Paper, Scissors is a game people tend to play when they're trying to make a decision. So you have two friends, they say, I want to go to McDonald's for food. Someone says, I want to go to KFC for food. And they say, okay, let's play Rock, Paper, Scissors to decide. So they go Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. And they say, well, you choose one of the three. You choose rock, you choose paper, or you choose scissors. And you make the hand gesture. And your opponent does the same thing. And then, depending on what you play, you win or you lose. And sometimes you will do best 2 of 3, or you'll do best 3 of 5, right? Now, so what do these hand gestures mean? So obviously you have rock. We'll start with rock, since this is the first one. Duh. So you start with rock. Rock is a rock. And so you make a fist like this. Good. Do you get the point there? Nice demonstration from all angles. That is rock. Rock is a very strong tool. Next up we have scissors. And no, not like the lesbian kind. We're not talking about that. We're talking about the utility. We're talking about scissors that cut things. Now obviously, a scissor cannot cut a rock. And so we have rock already. We have scissors. And so when people play these two, rock beats scissors. Which brings us to the final instrument of the game, which is paper. And paper you do just by having a flat hand. This is paper. Now, obviously, paper is going to lose to scissors. Paper is arguably the weakest thing here. It's going to lose to scissors because scissors can cut it. As far as rock goes, it wins against rock because it can wrap up rock. Now, I don't know why people consider this really as a win. Like, is it really winning to wrap something up? Like, does that mean you beat your chicken every time you wrap your leftover chicken up and put it in the fridge? I don't think so. Does my bed beat me every time I wrap myself up and I get into bed on a cold night? I don't think so. But for some reason, people class paper wrapping around rock as being it. So there you go. That is rock, paper, and scissors. And so now we're about to rate them on this tier list. And I think you can maybe guess from what I just said, but paper is kind of the worst. Like, it really is. It's going straight in D tier. Now, I'm not judging this tier based on like what wins the most because they all win an even amount of times, but paper is just such a bitch move. Like, how do you win just by wrapping something up? I can't wrap my head around that. I don't understand it. Surely you could have a sharp rock that's going to cut little holes in the paper and eventually the rock's going to get free. I think the rock wins in the long term. And going with that, I think rock is A tier. I think rock is way better than paper. I mean, it's the strong one. It will bash scissors. It'll break scissors. It'll leave them feeling like bad about their lives. And as I said, like, people say paper beats it. But I think in the long run, the rock outlasts the paper for sure. And lastly, obviously, we have scissors. Now, scissors is not going above rock. Rock beats scissors. And I would also argue that technically, paper in the real world beats scissors. Because, okay, you have a sheet of paper. Scissors can cut it. But you know what happens when you cut a piece of paper? It becomes 2 pieces of paper. This is how paper breeds. This is how more paper is made. What scissors are actually doing here is making more paper. You're actually helping your enemy here, scissors. What are you doing? You cut it in half. Wow, 2 pieces of paper. You cut those 3, 4 pieces of paper, 5 pieces of paper, 6 pieces. Every time you cut it, you're making more and more pieces of paper. Scissors is just helping grow an army against it. And it doesn't matter how many times you cut it. The paper will still always be there. It will still always be functional paper. They can cut it as many times as they want, but nothing is ever going to change that fact. In fact, suddenly you've got a whole colony of paper made by one pair of scissors. So scissors, I don't think it really does beat paper, just like I don't think paper really does beat rock. Really, the game should be rock paper matches or something, because the rock would beat the matches and the matches could set the paper on fire. I think that would be better. I actually think we should start a petition. We should start a whole new movement of people who want to play rock paper matches instead of rock, paper, scissors, because scissors just doesn't make any sense to be here. Now, I will put scissors in C tier above paper, even though I think it should lose to paper. And that is simply because paper is just such a wuss move. Can you imagine a man walks up to you and says, let's play a manly game of rock, paper, scissors, and you decide to put out your hand like this? What a little bitch you are. Like, seriously, what a wuss. You should be ashamed of yourself. Anyway, folks, that's a rock, paper, scissors tier list. Nothing goes in S tier because I don't believe anything really is in S tier. Rocks, yes, they're very strong, and I do believe that they technically beat both the paper and the scissors. You know, I say beat paper, but going by my own logic here, it's not really beating the paper. I think it's maybe about even with the paper. It's just, I don't see how paper can beat rock. I also don't see how rock can beat paper. So, I don't know. The fact of the matter is, rock is boring. Rock is boring, scissors are useless, and paper is a wuss move. So, there's the tier list. Nothing in B, nothing in S. If you want to make your own version of this tier list, I will leave a link to it in the description below. See you next time, freaks.